Introduction. Embarking on an SAP S4 HANA migration is a transformative journey that touches every corner of your organization. Finance, supply chain, manufacturing, sales, IT, and beyond. Unlike a simple upgrade, an S4 HANA migration redefines data models, simplifies processes, and unlocks real-time analytics. It promises strategic agility, the ability to make faster decisions, serve customers more effectively, and drive new revenue streams. Yet the path is strewn with potential pitfalls: misaligned scope, hidden technical debt, data quality crises, governance breakdowns, and post-go-live support challenges. This comprehensive guide lays out the 6 critical phases of a successful S4 HANA migration roadmap. Each phase includes detailed activities, best practices, real-world war stories, templates, and KPIs to measure progress. Follow these phases rigorously and you'll not only de-risk your project, but accelerate time to value and position your organization to fully exploit the power of SAP's next-generation ERP. Phase 1. Assessment and Landscape Discovery. 1.1 Establish a Migration Center of Excellence. Before diving into technical detail, form a cross-functional Migration Center of Excellence (COE). Membership should include Executive Sponsor, CFO or CIO, Program Manager, Technical Architecture Lead, Functional Process Owners, Finance, Procurement, Sales, Manufacturing, Data Governance Lead, Change Management Lead. The COE sets the vision, approves scope, resolves escalations, and maintains alignment between business objectives and technical delivery. 1.2. Conduct a fit gap analysis. Use SAP's simplification item, catalog to scan your ECC system for deprecated features, custom enhancements, and data model changes. Document simplification items that must be addressed during migration, e.g., changes in GL account structures, material ledger requirements, custom code objects, Z programs user exits baddies and their usage metrics, unused modules or processes that can be retired before migration. Output: a detailed fit gap matrix mapping current ECC functionality to S4 HANA standard, categorized as fit, business process supported out of the box. Gap requires custom solution or configuration workaround. Retire, deprecated or no longer needed functionality. 1.3 System Discovery and Inventory. All landscape components, ECC instances, DIV, QA, PROD, add-on modules, e.g. APO, CRM, SRM, third-party integrations, e.g. MES, WMS, payroll, tax, engines, middleware, PIPO, CPI, MuleSoft, custom ABAP code, Fiori apps, Z-tables, Z-views, use automation tools, SAP readiness check, code scan tools like SAP ABAP test cockpit, to generate quantitative metrics, total number of custom objects, code coverage %, active versus inactive, data volume per table, 1.4 risk assessment and business case refinement, align technical findings with business impact. For each simplification item or gap, estimate remediation effort, man days, assess business impact, e.g., process downtime risk, compliance exposure, prioritize using a RICE matrix, reach impact, confidence effort, refine the business case to include license cost changes, S4 HANA licensing model, infrastructure savings, decommissioned servers, simplified landscape, project ROI projection over 3 to 5 years, quantifiable KPIs, TCO reduction, process cycle time improvements, user productivity gains. Phase 2. Custom code remediation. 2.1 Automate code discovery and simplification analysis leverage. SAP Code, Vulnerability Analyzer and ATC, ABAP Test Cockpit, to scan custom code for deprecated statements, e.g. table buffering, SM50 calls. Security vulnerabilities, e.g. missing authorizations. Performance anti-patterns, nested selects, large internal tables. Produce a custom code inventory report listing each Z object with usage frequency, last executed date, call count, complexity score, McCabe complexity, simplification item references. 2.2 Rationalize custom objects, pass code objects through a 3-step gate. Eliminate. Remove inactive or obsolete objects confirmed no business impact. Consolidate. Merge similar Z objects performing overlapping functions. Remediate. Refactor remaining objects to align with S/4HANA data model, e.g. replace table-specific selects with CDS views. Adapt to new table structures like MATDOC. Best practice. Adopt an 80-20 rule. At least 80% of code must align to SAP standard functions. Only 20% can remain as custom enhancements. 2.3 Remediation backlog and sprint planning. Create a dedicated custom code remediation backlog in your Agile tool. Jira Azure DevOps with user story for each object. As a developer, I want to refactor Z invoice report to use CDS view for performance acceptance criteria, unit tests performance benchmarks, priority, high for objects blocking go live, medium for process enhancements, low for nice-to-haves. Plan remediation in 2-week sprints with cross-functional code reviews to ensure consistency and adherence to best practices. 2.4 Unit testing and quality gates. Integrate ATC checks into your continuous integration pipeline. Failing checks, security, performance, syntax, automatically block transports. Maintain a code quality dashboard tracking, ATC findings per object resolution rate per sprint. Average time to fix code violations Phase 3, Data Migration Strategy 3.1. Define migration scope and data objects identify data domains to migrate. Master data materials vendors customers, chart of accounts cost centers transactional. Data, open items ARAP, work in process, inventory balances. Historical data, past financial postings, audit archives, read-only access. Determine cutover strategy. Big bang, entire dataset migrated at once. High risk but single downtime window. Phased approach. Master data first, then open items, then historical. Enables validation checkpoints 3.2. Build data migration cockpit templates. Use SAP Migration Cockpit, LTMC or LSMW for legacy data upload. Configure templates. Excel files or CSV structures for each data object with mandatory fields, pick list validations, and domain checks. Mapping rules. Map legacy field names to S4HANA data model, e.g. MATNR to MATNR, BUKRS to BUKRS, LIGNR to BOM item. 3.3 Execute staged test migrations. Perform 3 full test migration cycles in the quality environment. Trial load. Small sample dataset to validate mappings. Parallel run. Full dataset, but legacy system remains operational for reconciliation. Dress rehearsal. Near final migration with end-to-end process testing. Order to cash, procure to pay, plan to produce. After each run, generate reconciliation reports, total document counts, balances per cost center, variance analysis, track data migration, KPI dashboard, percent successful records, error rate, time per run. 3.4 Cut over planning and freeze doctrine. Lock legacy data changes, freeze date, before final migration. Document, cut over timetable, system shutdown, data export, import start, validation, SAP go live. Roles and responsibilities. Data owners, migration team, support desk, business super users. Communication plan. Daily status calls, escalation paths, rollback triggers. Define rollback criteria. Error rate threshold, e.g. greater than 2% critical errors. KPI deviation, e.g. reconciliation variance, greater than 0.1%. Approval matrix for aborting or proceeding. Phase 4. Fit to standard workshops. 4.1. Organize cross-functional workshops conduct. Fit to standard sessions by process area. Finance, order to cash, procure to pay, record to report. SCM inventory management, production planning. HR time management, payroll, if relevant. Use SAP Model Company or Best Practice Explorer to demo standard processes. For each process, document deviations, capture gaps against target process. Identify alternatives, standard configuration or simple extension, BRF plus instead of custom code. 4.2 Workshop artifacts and decision logs. Maintain decision log. Spreadsheet, process area requirement. Standard fit, decision. Standard custom. Owner comments, order to cash. Invoice scheduling agreement. Yes standard lead FINA, procure to pay. Two-step GRIR reconciliation. No use BRF plus lead. template design needed. Obtain formal sign-off for each decision from process owners before moving on. Configuration sprints. Translate workshop outcomes into configuration user stories. As an accounts payable user, I can run AP aging using standard FGI reports. As a warehouse manager, I want bin-to-bin stock transfer using SAP WM configuration. Deploy configuration in Sandbox first, then to Dev QA with automated transports. Validate each via test scripts in the QA environment. Phase 5. Cutover and go live. 5.1 Final preparations and dress rehearsal conduct. A cutover dress rehearsal 1 week before go live. Simulate the entire cutover in a sandbox. System shutdown, data migration, transports, user logins. Track cutover checklist. All pre-go live tasks completed. Cutover checklist example. Activity status owner comments. Freeze legacy postings done finance freeze. Started 2 a.m. final data export done data. Team 1.2 billion records extracted import to S4 QA done basis. No integrity errors. Transport final configuration. Done basis. 12 transports applied. User login validation. In-prog support 5.2. Cutover execution. On go live day, legacy system freeze. Halt all new transactions. Data migration, run final migration batch. Master, open items. Configuration/custom code transports. Import from QA to PROD. Smoke testing. Business superusers execute critical transactions, e.g., create sales order, post invoice. Support desk standby. Hypercare team ready 24/7 for first 2 weeks. Use a war room for rapid issue resolution, equipped with live cutover dashboard, progress bars, key metrics, direct communication channels, Slack, Teams, escalation matrix 5.3, go live validation and hypercare. Immediately after cutover, validate, functional tests, transaction success rate, reconciliation results, performance benchmarks, response times, batch job durations, integration tests, end-to-end order orchestration track, hypercare metrics, ticket volume and aging, mean time to resolution, MTTR, user satisfaction, quick pulse surveys. Phase 6, post-go-live stabilization. 6.1 Transition to support model after hypercare, 2 to 4 weeks. Transition to a run and operate support model. Tier 1, basic support via service desk, password resets, navigation help. Tier 2, functional issues, configuration tweaks, error analysis. Tier 3, development fixes, critical bug resolution, enhancements. Document SLA for each tier. Tier response. Time resolution time channel. 1 2 hours, 1 business day. Web portal 2 4 hours. 2 business days, phone, chalk, email, 3 1 business day, 5 business days, direct email 6.2, continuous improvement and roadmap use, SAP Solution Manager or focused build to capture, new improvement requests, enhancement backlog, quarterly roadmap for incremental releases, host quarterly business reviews to showcase achieved benefits versus KPIs, e.g., 20% faster month-end close. Prioritize next wave of enhancements, Fiori apps, analytics stories. 6.3 Knowledge transfer and documentation. Ensure all knowledge artifacts are finalized. Runbooks for critical processes. Backup, restore, monitoring. Configuration guides with screenshots and step-by-step instructions. Training materials updated for new S4 HANA features. Schedule refresher training for end users and IT support every 6 months. 6.4 Measure long-term. Success track strategic KPIs over 12 to 24 months. Process efficiency, order-to-cash cycle time, procure-to-pay turnaround. Cost savings, license optimization, infrastructure consolidation, user adoption, transaction volumes, Fiori usage statistics, business agility, new revenue channels enabled, e-commerce, IoT integrations. Conclusion: a successful SAP S 4 HANA migration is not a one-off project but a multi-phase transformation journey. By rigorously executing the 6 critical phases, assessment and discovery, custom code remediation, data migration, fit-to-standard workshops, cutover and go-live, and post-go-live stabilization, you establish a repeatable low-risk roadmap to unlock SAP's full potential. Remember, governance and COE anchor your effort. Automation and tooling accelerate analysis and quality. Agile sprints keep customization under control. Staged migration de-risks data moves. Fit to standard maximizes reuse of SAP's core. Hypercare and run model ensure sustained benefits. Implement these best practices, measure your KPIs, and continuously refine your approach. Your organization will achieve faster innovation cycles, real-time insights, and a future-ready digital core. Good luck on your S4 HANA journey.